Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And this movie came out in the year 2000, directed by Ang Lee, and this movie was nominated for Best Picture. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was pretty good. I liked the music in the film. I thought that it worked pretty well and added to the film without taking away anything within the scenes that it was in. And I really enjoyed the action sequences in this film. They were a lot of fun and very exaggerative, and the way that they're done and choreographed, and it's basically, you can tell pretty much they're always on wires, but I do feel as though that was intentional for what this movie was going for. And the movie also looked pretty nice. There were some really nice shots in this movie that I liked a lot. The way things were framed and just the overall look of the movie, I was really enjoying throughout. And I like the characters in this movie. They were likable characters, and some of them were even really interesting to me. I thought the pacing worked pretty well. This movie is 2 hours, and it doesn't really waste any time. It just goes through everything that you would need to, and just it gives you enough to care about what's going on, but also not be too long to where it just overstates its welcome. Everything, it just feels really stretched out. That never happens in this movie. It's all nice and tight. Doesn't do anything else that is unrequired for a good movie to happen. Like, nothing really felt forced, nothing felt thrown in there for the most part. And it was just enjoyable for me overall. And with the action scenes being some of the highlights of this movie, I was thinking, okay, how are the dialogue scenes going to hold up? And surprisingly enough, they held up pretty well. I enjoyed the dialogue scenes. They were entertaining, and they weren't like complex or just something philosophical or anything that changed my perspective of how I view things. They were talking like how I would imagine real people would talk at the very least, and it was enjoyable and didn't feel phony or forced at any particular moment, or at least not from what I remember. And I also liked the directions that the story took. There were moments where I was like, oh, okay, this is a bit different from what I was kind of expecting, even though I have seen this before in other movies. At the very least, it was something where I can point at and say, oh, that's kind of a fun idea, and what they do with that is entertaining and likable, and that's what this movie is. It's nice, fun entertainment that I enjoyed, that has really good writing. And if we're going to go into my issues with this movie, there were moments where I did feel as though some scenes were just cut short, where I felt as though I could have done just a little bit more with that scene, because with the editing, it just felt like they cut it short because either something just didn't work very well on the editing room floor, and they just had to cut it short because if they didn't do that, then it would be even worse. But either way, it was still kind of distracting for me. And also, there were some characters that I felt were underdeveloped and could have used more screen time or been fleshed out a bit more. And same thing with some subplots in this movie. It could have been handled a bit better if they just gave more time to certain things. And while I did praise the movie for being very well paced and things being pretty tight, this is me kind of going back on that a little bit, because some things I do feel as though could have been improved a little bit. And there was also a good chunk of this movie where I just didn't really feel much emotion while watching it. I'm not saying that was like half the movie. I'm saying like at least 25% was like, yeah, I'm entertained, but I'm not really feeling emotions, really. I'm just kind of passively watching it and thinking, yeah, that was good. I'm not feeling an emotional attachment to a lot of these things. And so what we wound up getting is a good movie that I liked. I could come back to it, but it's not something I'm in love with, especially with something like Brokeback Mountain, which I'm much more easily to rewatch over this, because I just am connected with the characters and the story so much better in Brokeback Mountain. And this movie was also nominated for Best Picture, and I've seen almost all of the nominations for Best Picture that year. And that's about all I have to say about Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It was good. I didn't get as much out of it as I thought I would. I was hoping for a little bit more to chew on, but I still enjoyed it, and I feel like I could come back to this and maybe get more out of it, because this was just a first viewing, but I thought it was good. So check this movie out whenever you get the chance, and with all that being said, I'm going to give Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Wolfman, the 2025 remake. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.